Hey you, can't afford the next scariest horror game, but still want to play a new scary game that will haunt you to your core? Well, don't worry, I got you covered. Here are 3 low-priced horror games, ranked from worst to best. Number 3. From looking at the trailers, Injection 23 looked to be a surreal horror game that takes inspiration from classic survival horror games, and it's set in a real town located in Spain. Sounds great, but after playing it for about 2 hours and getting close to the end of the first chapter, I can safely say I should have gone with a different perspective. Not a, oh boy, here comes the spooky times, better put on my diapers. More like a, oh boy, I better get off my rockers because this game's unintentionally hilarious. Injection is a game that is so baffling bad that it could come around being good. The gameplay is completely functional like other survival horror games, with a nice little touch of swapping different perspectives that fits your playstyle. It's everything else that makes this game an adorably misput together Frankenstein's monster. All the cutscenes have a black and white monochrome style to it that makes it impossible to decipher what's going on. Monster designs look as if they were created by an overly edgy child with no parent supervision, or oh man. How about a main character that is completely unreactive to horrific scenes and does silly little jumps? Or the embarrassingly cheap looking menu and item images? I would like to comment on the story, but it just seems like to be a jumbled mess with no clear direction. I didn't fully complete the game because it was hurting my eyes to look at, and I couldn't figure out the save mechanic. So when I die, I had to start all over again, and bollocks to that. I might come back and do a full review, wink wink nudge nudge. The game only costs $14.99, a little pricey, but if you want a game that can be enjoyably bad with surreal imagery, then check it out. Number 2. I honestly don't know what to say about Fractured Minds. By the time I finish saying this sentence, you will have already beaten this game. There isn't much gameplay besides the light puzzle solving and a not surprisingly underwhelming boss fight. It's a game that tackles depression and other mental issues. It has heart in the right place, but this game didn't have any impact on me. If the gameplay is almost non-existent and the visuals didn't impact in any way, then why is this higher than the close cousin of Deadly Premonition? Well, it only costs $149, and it does function properly. If you have a small kid and want to give them an idea about depression and other mental issues, then I can recommend it from that perspective. Number 1. Worse Than Death is from the same creators of Home, a small little indie horror game that I cherish very much because of its thick atmosphere and an intriguing mystery that had me replay multiple times. I was surprised to know they came out with another pixel horror game last year October. With expectations pleasantly high, I bought the game and disappointment flicked me across the nose. It's not a bad game. No, very much the opposite. Worse Than Death is an indie pixel horror game that offers a decent mystery that's worth experiencing once. There is a great variety of creepy atmosphere, the characters are likable, and the puzzle solving was quite fun. You play as Holly, returning to her hometown for a high school reunion with her best friend Flynn. Of course, things go sideways at light speed. As you venture through the story, you find clues that you can piece together to uncover the dark secrets that lay dormant in the town. It's good, but it's lacking in some areas. Not going into crazy amount of detail, that'll be saved for another time. Just know that it needed more character interactions and some clues are repeated a bit. As for the horror factor, well, it's effective at first, then wears off quick. The problem is that there's only one enemy type and you can barely make out what it is. I normally wouldn't complain about not fully knowing what's chasing my delicious looking butt cheeks, but it's so vague that I might as well be chased by a floating fart with teeth. Other than the horror quickly fleeting and some aspects of the story needing work, I can still very much recommend Worse Than Death. It's a gorgeous looking 2D pixel horror game that has a variety of creepy atmospheres, challenging puzzles, and a small little fun mystery. It's not a very long game, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. The game only costs $9.99, so check it out. Well, there you have it. 3 low-priced horror games that you can afford. Third place is a hilariously bad horror game, second being a short PSA, and coming in first place is a gorgeous 2D pixel indie game that's more creepy than scary, but still a good time. Thanks for watching, this is Chris Anderson, signing off.